All right, so let's continue focusing on finding your voice. It can often be challenging to speak up for what we need. Brianna, have you ever felt that way? And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I really struggled to advocate for myself in school. I remember in high school, my care, not my caregiver, the person that handled like my IEP and stuff, that was her big concern that I didn't advocate for myself, and it was just so hard as someone with anxiety and as someone Shane mentioned earlier, my voice is so weak that a lot of times people can't hear me, they can't understand me. So even the minutia of like sitting down and having this conversation of, okay, this is what I need, how do I get it? That was just terrifying to me. And it still is. At like 26 years old, I'm still struggling to like talk about my needs. But it does get easier. I often feel like the discomfort of talking to people and asking for things, it's not worth it. Like, my needs are important. And even if they are, who's to say that my needs are actually needs, instead of just like things that I want. But at that point, that's when I tell myself that my feelings are lying. My emotions aren't very smart. They don't know what's going on. And ultimately, I'm the only person that knows what it's like to be me, So I am truly the best person who can advocate for me. So that's kind of where I'm at. I still struggle with it, and I'm assuming that it's going to be hard no matter what. But I do take a lot of um, comfort in the fact that it does get easier the more you do it.
Yeah, I would agree with that, that it gets easier the more you do it. And um, something that really motivates me um, in asking for help is that as I've asked for help, I've seen people respond, and I have friends that rise to the occasion, rise to the call, and so not that everyone that I ever ask says yes. I've, I've had some experiences where people say no or don't know what to say. But fortunately, I've had more experiences of seeing people respond well and actually take it as an invitation into deeper friendship and deeper connection. And so realizing that uh, that's a good thing. And so just running with that, and then also realizing that when I ask for help, when I invite people into my needs, it does create a deeper connection, and so I have a responsibility to also care for them in response.
Yeah, that's super true. Um, I think that that idea of it being a mutual thing where you're helping the people that help you is really important. For me, I went through a long period of time growing up where asking for help from others made me feel like a burden. And as Brianna said, it was a process to get through that and to realize that I'm not a burden for asking for help. Um, Eventually, it just kind of clicked. I mean, I really have my wife to thank for that and helping me to kind of navigate my feelings of being a burden. But eventually, I realized that the only way I'm going to be able to thrive is to ask that my needs are properly met. And so, like in my professional life, for instance, going back to speaking engagements, I found that doing multiple speaking engagements in one day often really tires me out, and I'm not able to do the ones at the end of the day as well as the early ones. So I now ask that I not do more than one a day, and that's been really helpful and really important for my career. Megan, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Just those practical things for you, I think in my younger years, I sat back more and I watched my mom be the advocate for me, at doctor's appointments and at school and things. I think I was in more of a learning what advocacy looked like for myself, and she kind of took the reins. But I later realized that I had to be my own advocate. Even, as I transitioned into an adult, I knew more what my needs were than she did. And I would encourage other parents of, children with SMA to let your kids be involved in that and watch and, learn how you're advocating for them, and then kind of passing that on and letting them get to do it eventually. But I just knew that I wasn't going to get anywhere that I wanted to be in life if I didn't actually speak up for what not only my needs were, but what my wants were too, because people didn't know what they were. They didn't know. I mean, even doctors sometimes didn't know what my needs were in a certain area. So I had to do that and speak up. And, it's something that I'm trying to teach my own children, how to speak up for what their needs and wants and desires are too.
I couldn't agree more with all of you guys. I felt the same way growing up. When I was younger, I struggled a lot more than I do now to advocate for myself. But over the years, I learned how important it is, not only for my quality of life, but for the generations to come after me. It's what gives me the confidence to say something. Helping solve a problem I run into makes it easier for the next person who runs into the same situation.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.